Hey, what's up you guys? My name's Tyler Rugge. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is a really exciting day. I'm literally so excited, and so is Malachi, in case you couldn't tell. So today we are setting up a bioactive bearded dragon enclosure, and I could not be more excited for this. Before we actually get into creating this enclosure, I want to give a huge thanks to the bio dude for helping me out and sending me a ton of stuff to get me started on my bearded dragon enclosure and to set it up. On the BioDude's website, they sell a huge variety of supplies for bioactive setups, and they make the substrates themselves, and it's all just specially formulated, and it's all amazing. I'm gonna go more into detail about the products as we actually start building the enclosure, but I would highly recommend the BioDude. I want to make it very clear that this video is not sponsored by the BioDude. They sent me products because they wanted to help me set up a bioactive for my bearded dragon. However, they did tell me to give you guys my honest opinion on their products, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You might be wondering, why am I doing a bioactive for my bearded dragon? So a thing that I've been doing recently is trying to set up the most naturalistic setups possible for my animals. And I've always said that when you're setting up an enclosure, you want to make it as close to their natural habitat as possible. You want to make it really naturalistic. It's really beneficial and enriching for them. And I just found it very hypocritical that I was saying that, yet I was keeping my bearded dragon on tiles. One thing I will say, and I stand behind, is sand is garbage. Do not keep your bearded dragons on sand. Not only is sand a risk for impaction, but it's not really good on their joints, and also it's just not natural. They don't live on sand in the wild. Tile has always just been a really safe choice for me because it's not a loose substrate. I've always been worried about impaction. I know with some substrates it's a lot lower risk than sand, but I've always just been very careful, and tile was always just a very safe option for me. However, I'm now choosing to go bioactive, which means, of course, I'm going to be using a loose substrate. This is a substrate specially made by the BioDude for animals like bearded dragons, uromastyx, leopard geckos, and other desert kind of dwelling lizards. Completely safe for them, and it's also going to create a really awesome bioactive environment. One thing I want to make very clear is do not try to replicate my setup with other substrates. If you want to do a bioactive setup for your bearded dragon, fantastic. Go with the BioDude Terra Sahara substrate because it's made for bearded dragons. Don't go out and get sand. Don't go out and get eco-earth or anything like that, because it's not the same, and I would not recommend sand or eco-earth as substrates for bearded dragons. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer in there, and without further ado, let's get straight into setting this thing up. I am so excited, and Malachi is ready for a new enclosure, aren't you? So just to go over everything I got from the BioDude, right here we have the Terra Sahara substrates, and then over here we have some grapevine, actually a lot of it, as well as corkwood. And then we have this special LED grow light that's made by the BioDude for the plants that are going to go in the enclosure. We have a thermometer slash hygrometer made by the BioDude. We have a bunch of biodegradable stuff like leaves, sphagnum moss, and palm leaves. And then we have down here, these are just kind of like decorations, but they're just like seed and nut pods that are gonna make it look very naturalistic, so I love it. And then we have the bio shots, so these are going to be the cleanup crew pretty much, and we're gonna get into that later. And then when you order stuff from the BioDude, they give you a bunch of really helpful information on how to set up the bioactive setup, and just some recommendations on plants to put in there that are edible, and just different things that are really helpful and easy to follow. So this is really helpful as well. Over in these boxes, we actually have some of the live plants they sent me, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. So yeah, I'm super excited to get started. Malachi, are you excited for your brand new setup? Your hammock fell and you're just sitting on it. So to start, and also to make my life a lot easier, I'm going to be removing the sliding glass doors from the enclosure just to make it easier for me to set this up. So as you can see, this is the setup I had for my bearded dragon. I used tile, and I have wood, and I have a hammock over there. It kind of fell over. But this is a very bare and boring setup in my opinion. So I'm really excited to spice it up for him, and I think he'll really enjoy it. So the very first thing we're going to be doing is adding the substrate. Again, this is the Terra Sahara substrate made by the Bio Dude. It's an all-in-one bioactive substrate, and this just has everything you need in it as far as substrate goes. So like I said before, do not try to replicate this setup with just like dirt or sand or eco earth or anything like that. It's not going to be the same. This substrate is a mixture of a bunch of different stuff that's going to create the proper drainage and everything needed to have an effective bioactive setup. You cannot just use dirt or sand or eco earth. Not only are some of those things not good for bearded dragons, but it's not going to create an effective environment as far as the actual bioactivity goes. I'm just going to be adding this straight into the enclosure. Alright, so I added 2 bags of the Terra Sahara bioactive substrate, and this is going to be the perfect amount for my 75-gallon tank. You want to have at least 3 inches of substrate, which it looks like there's just about 3 inches, if not a little bit more. So this is going to be perfect. And it looks amazing already. So you can kind of see it's like a dirt mixture, and there's also some little pieces of wood and stuff mixed in there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to water this to make the substrate a bit moist. You don't want to water it too much. And as you can see, the water kind of pools on the top a little bit, but it's going to sink down. And I'm actually gonna mix it around a little bit. So you might be kind of wondering what's going on because this is a desert animal. Bearded dragons do not require super high humidity. A lot of people, however, actually keep their bearded dragons not humid enough. I think the ideal humidity for a bearded dragon is going to be around 30%. So basically, the way this is going to work is the moisture on the top layer is going to sink down to the bottom, and the top is going to dry out, and the middle and bottom layers are going to stay moist. Next, we're going to add the sphagnum moss. I'm actually going to add water straight into the bag to make the moss a little moist. And then I'm going to add it straight into the enclosure. And then I'm just going to mix the moss into the substrate. And this is going to be really good for not only the plants, but the cleanup crew is going to love eating this stuff. Hello, I'm back. So the next step is I'm going to add the bioshots. So what the bioshots are is a mixture of beneficial bacteria and microorganisms, and this is essentially going to be the cleanup crew. When you add the bioshot, you technically don't have to add any extra isopods or any other cleanup crew. This will do the trick. However, you still can add other cleanup crew if you would like to. And a little later down the line, I probably will add some isopods in there, but for now, I'm just gonna do the bioshots. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them in there, one at a time. And then I'll just kind of mix it around again a little bit. So next, I'm gonna add a bag of the oak leaf litter. And not only does this make it look more natural, but it's going to be good food for your cleanup crew to munch on. And then I'm also going to add some of the palm leaves. And the palm leaves, I'm actually just gonna kind of stick underneath the substrate. It's gonna be really good, again, for the cleanup crew. So now we move on to the fun part where I actually get to add all of the wood and I get to kind of scape the enclosure. I'm really excited. Kind of nervous it's gonna be lame, but they gave me a lot of really cool pieces to work with, so I have some hope. I'm just not very good at scaping things because I'm not very creative or like just good in that aspect, but we'll see. Wish me luck. Does this look good? I really don't know. I feel like I'm gonna change my mind. Should I just move it around? Okay, I feel like I need to like get off camera and just set up all the wood in here and move it around for like 3 hours before I figure out what I actually like because I'm super picky. So I'll be back, don't worry. All right guys, so super exciting. I just finished it. It looks awesome. I'm so excited to show you. It just looks so cool. All right, let's look. So this is the finished product. As you can see, I added all of the plants and everything, so it looks really awesome. So over here is the basking area. There's just a ton of wood over here, and it'll just give him a lot of options as far as where he kind of wants to go. And there's also some area down in here for him to kind of crawl under if he wants to like hang out at the bottom. And then all the plants in here are completely edible, so if he eats them, then it's not an issue at all. So this is one of my favorite plants in here, I think. This is a variegated Cryptanthus earth star. I think that this is so freaking cool. And then of course there's some like succulents. There's a cactus there and there. We have aloe. This back here is really cool. I think this is called an elephant bush. I'm not really sure if that's what the technical name is. I'm pretty sure it's called like an elephant bush or an elephant feed. And then this here is called spaghetti agave, I think it's called. I think that looks really cool. It kind of, to me, it just kind of looks like a green onion or something. I don't know. That's just what I think of. Yeah, this is the final product. I think that this looks so hecking cool. Malachi's gonna love it. Did want to add some isopods into there. So in here, I just have some powder orange and powder blue isopods. And I'm just gonna throw them in there. Nothing crazy, just gonna put them in there. And now we have a little bit more cleanup crew in there. So yeah, I'm super excited to add Malachi into here. And there it is from a distance. And then up here, I have the LED grow light from the Biodude, and I'm sure it's gonna do really well at keeping all these plants healthy. And then for the basking spot, I just use a mercury vapor bulb, which is actually up here, because I want to keep it around a foot or a little more than a foot even away from the basking spot. And this provides UVA, UVB, and heat for the bearded dragon, so I love mercury vapor bulbs for that reason. I'm so excited. Let's add Malachi. Are you ready for your new home, Malachi? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just think he's gonna love this so much. It looks just so much bigger than it did before. Hello, this is Tyler from the future and an update. So down here we have a pink Cryptanthus, which I just added because I found it in the box. I thoroughly looked through the box to make sure I wasn't gonna throw out any plants, and I almost threw this guy away, and I'm glad that I checked and didn't. So yeah, there's a pink Cryptanthus down there as well. And yeah, Malachi is still enjoying his tank a few hours into the future. Okay, now back to your regular scheduled programming. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed my Bioactive bearded dragon setup. I think this is my favorite enclosure I have by far. It turned out so much better than I could have ever imagined. I just absolutely love it. And Malachi has just been running around exploring, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. To give you guys an honest review on the products I got from BioDude, obviously I can't speak on it too much because I just set it up, and I'm definitely gonna give you guys updates on how the Bioactive setup goes as we go on in time, because it's gonna age a bit and then we'll see how it holds up. Overall, so far, everything turned out great. It looks amazing and I am just so excited for it. So a huge thanks to the BioDude. I will link his website down below. So if you want to buy any of the supplies that I got, you can do so. They have a bearded dragon kit for if you want to set up a Bioactive bearded dragon enclosure, and you can actually put in the size of the enclosure and they'll send you the right amount of substrate and everything that you need according to the size enclosure that you have. I would highly recommend the BioDude. Super amazing, and I'm super grateful, and I just love how it turned out. I could not be happier. He's so cute. Hi, Malachi. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I post videos every week. Check out my social media and my vlog channel. There's a link down in the description below. And I will see you guys in my next video.